So I had an emergency, so I had was to change the time. I'm so sorry about that, but it's better late than never. So we switched the time around to 2 today, only for today. Today we're going to be talking about menses. If you're my age, you might call it menses. And if you're a little on the younger side, you might call it simple period. Or the correct name is menstruation. Well, all names are correct. We're going to dive into it today. And the reason I came on is if you have watched my other 2 videos yesterday, yesterday and the day before, you would have known that I'm making 5 videos this week. Today is the third one. We're addressing these feminine issues, feminine concern, just all feminine stuff that we go through from day to day. We're addressing this because I am receiving thousands of emails asking some of these questions, like simple everyday questions that we take for granted, especially for those of you us who know certain things. Would be surprised how many people out there that just don't know these things. So we're gonna dive deep into period menses. I'm gonna use today right throughout the video. I'm gonna use the word menses, not because I'm uncomfortable using period, but because of the system, I feel like it's better for me to say menses, but it's definitely period, full stop. Okay. Now, most people start to get these at a very early age. Some people start to get in their period, let's say, from the age of 9. The age that is more common is 11, 12. And for late bloomers, 13 years old. Early bloomers, I've seen and heard of cases at 8 years old. Now, it is always wise to inform, have a talk with your children, if you have children, that just before this happened. However, nowadays there are a wide variety of information out there that you can research and find and know exactly what to do. So age 12, my period came when I was it came the January, and I turned 12 the March. I never forget that. I was at school and we were rehearsing. We were actually doing a poem. And back then you got to know poems word for word. And I was there studying in the group. The Kistidi. I know you by your yellow vest, you little Kistidi. That seems so bright, that clean brown. I don't even remember the words of the poem now, but that's what we were saying. And I just felt something warm coming down, like a little warm coming down. And it kind of feel like it was unusual. So I went to the bathroom and there it was. And how did I know that that was my menses? I knew this because my mom actually walked me through, like totally walked me through the whole, need to know about menses. However, I'm pleasantly surprised that when I talk to a lot of my peers that back then, they have no idea what to do, how to protect themselves, nothing like that. But I knew what to do. And I'm going to say this. There are several different methods of protecting yourself with period. There's the cloth method. There's the pad method. There even sponge. And these days they have the Diva cups. For some people, you might not be aware that all these 4 methods are very much still active. The cloth method is the old method, but there's some people that still and also still feel like it is better. And some people, believe it or not, that are now thinking about going green or going back to the cloth method that is protecting yourself. You have the pad, which has been around right after the cloth method and is still around, not going anywhere. You have the sponge and you have the Diva cup, which is now trying to take over. I could see people coming on and logging off, but this show is for the people that need it. All right. For my OGs, you know what's up. So we're going to talk about it. Angie, I really get bad cramps for that. And I know this is where it's going to go. But for people that are going to watch the show when it just started. We want to have an opening to drag them in. So we can't dive into those serious part as yet. So, but we're gonna get there. Now, years and years ago, they used to use blue liquid to indicate a period. And then they changed that. I'm talking about like if you're seeing it on TV. They can you imagine, guys? Let's be real right now. Can you imagine that this is something that happened to us women, and we can't even use the right color or even say the word? We have to like be hiding it. I personally don't think it should be something that is pushed under the rug. I think they should bring these commercial baths. They should allow us to talk about it, because you know what, there's so many things that happen to people, to us, while we're on our menses, that sometimes we wish we have someone to just ask, like, let me ask you something. When you're on your menses, does this happen? You know, and those are the kind of emails that we receive, like emails asking about like period colors, like cramping, like, you know, length of time. Believe it or not, we're getting questions like that, and we're gonna address it. We should be allowed to talk about it. I hate the fact that I cannot come on right now and we start to talk about it freely, like, oh, let me tell you something, this, that. Why should we be ashamed of this? No, we don't call this on ourselves. This is just how the body operates. This is normal. You have human that do have periods, and you do have animals that have period also. Now, why can we talk about it? Why can we discuss it? I think the reason why listen, I do understand that there's certain, maybe like religion, that is, you know, that's like, it's a no. And why does people think that it is gross? It is not gross. It is what you have to deal with from a young age till you probably reach 45 upwards before you stop seeing it. It's something that we have to live through for years and years and years and years, and we're not allowed to talk about it. Also, we're not allowed to feel like we're clean at that time. I'm not gonna stray too deep into having a period. You're not clean. I'm not gonna go there, but think about it. Period is waste, okay? When that egg mature monthly and it break, all of that, you know, the shells and everything flow out, and that is how you end up getting your period. We're not going to go through the whole biological ways of how you get your period. All I'm just saying, it is waste. However, there are other ways too. We have urine, we have feces, and we have period. They're all waste. Just because you go and make pee pee, it don't mean that you're not clean. You go, you do, you know, your little feces. That don't mean that you're not clean. So you have your period, it don't mean that you're not clean. It's just the body function eliminating what is not supposed to be there, or the shell, or the ox, whatever it is that you want to call it. So I'm just here to tell you, and as I said, this video is mostly for people that's going to be watching after. Oh geez, you know what I'm talking about. You are totally clean when you are going through your menses. The only thing is that if you do not wash yourself properly, then you can become a smelly paw. Oh, I'm just using some fancy name today, okay? So that's the only time you should consider yourself not clean. But if you wash yourself properly, you take care of yourself, you dry yourself properly, and you use the proper guard, whether you're using the cloth method, the pad method, the sponge method, or the diva cup, you are very much clean. Okay, so now that that is out of the way, we are moving on, and I'm definitely can't wait to get to Anine. I think I messed that name up, but I can't wait to get to your question. Now, blue liquid was where I'm at. So after a while, they changed that blue liquid, and they now use like a red dot. So if you're out there and you're looking for material or information about your menses, you might notice a red dot. That is what they're using. It's kind of ironic how people are scared of, and even me right now was going to say it. Yeah, let me say it. Why we are so scared of blood. We have that every month. And even the system, I made videos years ago talking about period color, and that video is now blocked. you can see the video if I choose to release it, but there's no form of a monetary fund on it. It's totally blocked. And believe it or not, that video has gotten millions of views. Millions of views. But it is now blocked. If I release it, then sometimes I feel like it bring the channel down. So it's Angini. Okay, thank you for that. So with that said, I don't know if they're gonna block this video. I know they're not circulating it because I can tell by the amount of people watching, but I'm gonna make it anyway. And if they put a yellow mark on this video, I am not gonna take it down. I am gonna leave it there because on my channel, I receive thousands of emails asking simple questions about period. Now, remember, I am not a doctor, okay? Whatever issue you're having, you're uncomfortable and you don't know what is going on, definitely, for the first word, consult your doctor. Any kind of full odor, any kind of unusual cramping, anything like that, definitely consult your doctor. However, as a woman, who have been having period from the age of, I'm going to say 11, I feel like I am very much capable of talking about period. Okay? Very much capable of talking about period. Not only that, for a person that has done like a lot of research on it, I think I have all right to talk about it. So if I'm going to talk about it today and I'm going to talk about it in a term as if it's associated with me, please understand why I am doing that. Now, also, let's get this out of the way really, really quick. It's very, very important. Always, always go see a gynecologist. And you need to go see your gynecologist at least once per year. At least once per year, you go and see your gynecologist. Regardless if there's nothing going on, regardless if you're having regular flow, healthy flow, still go and see that gynecologist. Very, very important. Now, let's talk about the flow. How many of you on here are regular? If you're regular, what is regular period? A regular period comes between 21 and 28 days. And for some people, it might go even up to 30 days. A regular, however, most people is between 27 and 28 days. All my life, really, I am at 28 days. I could actually, pinpoint. I could plan around it because it's always 28 days. Now, if your period is coming more often than 21 days, then you definitely need to get it checked out. If it's coming more often than 21 days, you need to get it checked out. We're also going to talk a little bit later about what could cause it to come more often than that. And that is something that a lot of us actually experience or go through because some other issue. We're going to talk about it later. But between 21 and 28 days is very, very much okay. All right. So with that said, guys, okay, this is what is going on. This yesterday I forget to put this on. It's my little AC that I have here, and today I forget, and I'm thinking, why am I so hot? But the reason why I paused just now about being hot is because I'm talking about period. But if you know, you know. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. If you don't, if you don't, if you don't. But look at me, okay? Look at me. I am sweating up a bullet, okay? I'm sweating up a bullet, and it all have to do with cycle, right? It all have to do with, you start that period, and when you get to the end of it, then you go through all of this that I personally is going through. All right, so with that said, it means that I basically am at the end of complete a lifetime of period, okay? A lifetime of period, meaning that I can share my many experience. Now, how long should you a normal period last? Believe it or not, a normal period will last between 3 and 7, but personally for me, I'm putting 10 there, okay? For my subscribers, some of you know why I'm putting 10 there. Your period should last between 3 to 7 days, but I am putting 3, 7 slash 10. Why am I going to all the way to 10? This is for people that have other things going on that it might last a little longer. And we're going to get to that later. But the normal is really 3 to 7 days or 10. Okay. And if you know what I'm talking about, why I mentioned 10, go ahead and comment, guys. Go ahead and comment. I see, you know what is really, really sad? For instance, I'm doing this show today. I know the system didn't circulate the show because it's on period. But also when people come on and you try to talk about these things, people don't want to hear it. However, we have thousands of, and I'm going to use the word young. I'm going to use the word young. You have thousands of young people out there that are craving this information. And the reason why I got so many emails asking these simple questions is because people are not doing the job and people are clicking off when they should really sit and listen. If our show is going on right now, I'm talking about period, menopause, or anything like that, I am listening. You know why I'm listening? Because I'm always going to learn something. I am always going to learn something, and it's very sad that people don't listen. That's why so many people don't know what to do. All these young kids out there really don't know what to do. Why am I receiving all these emails? All right, so but I'm going through the show, guys. I promise I'll do it, and I'm going to do it. Now, one thing I forget when I was talking about the what you use, I forget to mention tampon. Here in America, tampon is the most widely used. It's on the top of the line of what people use during their cycle, the tampon. I try use it. Well, let me give my story really quick, so people could understand and know why I said I also is capable. My first period was tissue. Comment, guys, what did you use for your first period? My first period was tissue. Why was it tissue? And I'm sure a lot of you have this tissue incident. My first period was tissue paper because I was at school when it came, and the only option I have was to go in the bathroom, roll some tissue paper, and that is what I used. That was my first period. Okay. Did I ever use tissue any at all during all these years? Yes, I use tissue many times, because I might be somewhere and my period is there and I don't have any pads, any tampon, any sponge, any diva cup, and I go and use some tissue until I get, any one of those that I use. Now, after that, guess what my next one was? And I'm not afraid to talk. Yes, let's talk about it. And if you know, you know, and if you don't know, you don't know. My second one was the clot method. Some of you are going to guess my age now. Yes, my second method was the clot method. And the clot method is difficult, guys. I didn't do the clot method for more than one cycle. And that is the honest truth. The reason why I did the clot method, I grew up with a stepmom. And when I told her, another story, I'm going to give you another story about that with my period. I probably should say it, but I really want to go point to point, but I can tell you this story. Yeah, I probably never ever say this out loud, but I'm going to say it today since we're on the topic of period. And the reason why I'm going to give my story is because I want parents to really talk to their children. I was just going to sweep it under the carpet just now, but let me tell you my real life story, okay, where period is concerned. Now, I have a mother and I have a stepmother. My mother actually walked me through the entire thing, like, you're gonna get your period, it's gonna be like this, and whenever your period came, this is what you do. You go to the store, you get the sanitary pad, they used to call it sanitary napkin that back then, and you protect yourself with it. However, when I got my period, I was living with my dad and my stepmother. I did not tell my stepmom that I got my period. For some reason, I wasn't comfortable talking to her. So I actually kept it to myself. Lo and behold, I went home and I'm trying to think. I think that was the second month. But what did I do for the first month? The first time it came, I think it was like a day and a half or something like that. But anyway, the second month it came, I was at school again. And those days there were slip. If you're watching right now and you know what slip is, comment, comment, comment. Most people don't know what slip is. Anyway, I used to wear slip to school. You have your undies, then you wear that slip. So much clothes do, and then you wear your uniform. Lo and behold, I have a bright yellow slip, and it touches my slip. So when I went home, I was in the room, I was changing, and there goes that red dot. I didn't know the red dot was there, but it was there. And I never ever really, I think I maybe talk about this to some probably family members or so. But my stepmom came in the room. She saw the red dot and I got a whooping. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. And some of you might know why I got a whooping. We're not going to dive in it. But I got a whooping. How ignorant. How ignorant. Now I'm talking about it and I feel like I just want ball. How ignorant. Guys, we need to talk about it. We need to talk about it. We need to talk about it. Yes, I got a whooping when my period came because my ignorant, and I'm using the word ignorant because now I'm looking back, but maybe they didn't know. I got a whooping. I got a whooping. And I was KISS. I call my mama up and I said, Mama, I got a whooping. If you know what I'm talking about, just comment yes. If you know what I'm talking about without me spelling out why I got a whooping, just comment yes. We need to talk to our children about these things, okay? And now things is different. Well, I'm saying things are different and people are more educated, but why am I getting so much email still from all these young people on their period, don't know what to do? Okay, all right, so let's continue. Comment, please. If you know why I get a whooping, comment, comment, comment. So with that said, I'm back to the clock method. See, now I said, no, that's not it, my period, blah, 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 blah. And I got a lesson on the cloth method. I got a lesson on the cloth method. Girl, I used that cloth method. I didn't like it at all. I didn't like that cloth method at all because then you got to wash it. Unwash. That thing is hard to wash. I save my lunch money up and I buy my napkins. No more cloth method for me. The napkins were available. But because my mom is old school and that's what she used, she introduced me to the cloth method. So yes, I have tried the cloth method. If you're watching and you have tried the cloth method, don't be ashamed to comment it right now, guys. Comment it. And nobody's commenting. I see nobody's commenting. We need to talk about it. It is okay to talk about it. It is okay to talk about it. And I am talking about it because that whooping thing was not necessary. That was not necessary. And I'm wondering how many people have gone through what I went through because of ignorance. How many? How many people have gone through what I've been through because of ignorance? And I know some people don't understand because it took me a long time to understand the whooping. It took me a long time. I know I'm just saying it to you guys, and some of you still not getting it, why I got a whooping. It's another show. I don't know if I can talk about it on this platform, why I got a whooping. Ignorance, ignorance. Don't talk to your children. Let them know what they need to know. And today, 2022, we're still receiving emails of people not knowing what to do. All right, so as I said, if you know, I think Anini, or let me go back to the pronunciation. Anjini's just got it. I think Anjini just got it. If you got it, comment, guys. If you're watching, you get it, you understand it, comment. All right, so we were talking about tampon. widely used. Do I do tampon too? Yes. Later on in life, I do tampon. Never ever really liked tampon. Now, if you're going to use your tampon, tampon come in different sizes. And I'm saying this to some of those people sending me those emails. Tampon come in several different sizes. I think you have a small, medium, large, or it's probably nowadays changed to flow. Correct me, guys. You all know what I'm talking about. So I think maybe now it's have medium flow, light flow, medium flow, heavy flow, extra heavy flow. Also, well, and sizes. If you're a little itsy bitsy teeny tiny little 12, 13, 14, definitely go for this small tampon. If you're gonna use a tampon and you're gonna feel totally uncomfortable, it means that it is too big. Look for the size and start with the smallest size, especially if you're pretty new on your period. Start with the smallest size and work up. Now, when you're wearing a tampon and you're not supposed to feel it like that there, when you're wearing a tampon and you start to feel it, it means that it is full. It means that it is full and you need to change it. How often should you change your tampon? You should change your tampon at least every 2 hours. You should not leave your tampon in overnight or change your tampon just before you go to bed. When you wear tampon, it is advisable for you to get up in the middle of the night and change it. I know some people sleep right throughout the night. Get up early and change that tampon. Tampon comes in different sizes. I just highlight some questions that I get in the email, guys, and that is why I'm just saying it like this on the live. Tampon come in different sizes. Know your size. Start with the smallest, and when the flow gets a little more, you work yourself up. Do I personally recommend sleeping in tampon at night? No, I don't. That's another question I tend to get. No, I don't. Why? I do not recommend sleeping in tampon at night because I think it should just flow out. Now, I don't want to mess the bed up. I think the tampon is safer. You can also mess the bed up if you're wearing a tampon because if it's full and you don't change it, it's still going to mess the place up, mess your bed up. I also recommend that regardless of how light your period is, a safest way to go about is to put extra, or you get a special sheet, or I'm gonna say it, or you get one of those what they call them again, pads, not pads, the oh, remind me guys what it is. But you can, like, if you have like peeing issue, you can use those. You put it on the bed and that way it won't soak through or mess your sheet up. But yes, prepare your bed when you're having your period. That's another thing they don't teach children. I'm not, let's say not children. This show is not for this is not a kiddie show channel. You got to be over 18 or so for our content. So what I'm trying to say, the old way of doing it is to prepare the bed. I strongly suggest you prepare the bed. You do not want to get up every morning. And guess what? Your period flow do not have to be heavy for you to make a mess. You don't have to be heavy for you to make a mess. You can make a mess on a light period if you're not properly fixed. And if you are the type that sleep and your foot is there, yes, you can make a mess. So go back and prepare it and use those. I personally want to come out. And sometimes we say things and people just copy what we're saying. Well, I personally want to come out with some of those pads, and I'm going to call them period pads or something like that, that you could spread on the bed right, you know, above. You could sleep on them during that time. That is something that I recommend. So definitely I prefer free flow. However, if you choose to wear a tampon at night, go ahead, use it. But for me, I would suggest to let it just run out. Now, let me see. When it comes on to period flow, we're gonna come to the questions, guys. I'm just addressing some questions that I get in my emails just to get it out of the way. How much period should one person have per cycle? Believe it or not, it's just a few spoonful. I would say a few tablespoonful up to a cup. If you're having like a cup, it means that the flow is heavy. And I know some of you watching is going to be like, let's talk about that, because with that is not true. And I definitely would like to have a show around that too, because other underlying issues, because, okay, Other underlying issue. When I was in my younger days, my period lasts 3 days, only 3 days. Mild, gentle, blah, blah, blah. And the older I get, is the heavier period I got. So this is that time my period, like, to me, that's like about 10 cups, but we'll talk about it. We're going to dive into it. But since we're addressing some of these emails that I received, that some of them don't reach this stage yet. Most of the emails is, the beginning to around about the 20 to 30-year-old and stuff like that. So we are addressing it. Now, believe it or not, a tablespoon on a sanitary napkin could look like you pour a cup on it. Yes, that is why we always think that is so much coming. However, there are people that do have a lot, like my end of time, my period was off the chain. Okay, but I have underlying issues, which we'll talk about in a minute. Let's take some questions and then we're gonna move on. I can't believe I'm already at half an hour. So let me see if I get out all the colors. Period tracker. Period tracker. For those of you sending and asking, oh, how do you know when your period is coming? Track it. Track it. When you start to track, I was tracking my period from a very young age, way before all these fancy online trackers come about. What I used to do, I have a book, a little book, and I used to write down the day my period come and how long it lasts. From I was in my teen. No one told me to do that. So I should have been one of those people to create the tracker. And that is the truth. I normally write it down, and I wrote this thing down to this day. To this day, on track. I'll tell you something later on at the end, but yes, on track. And that is how comes I could tell you that I have 28 days a cycle, and anytime that 28 days cycle is off, something else is going on. So definitely write your period down regardless of your age. And also, whenever you go to your gynecologist, always remember they're going to ask you the date of your last period. That is why you need to know the date of your last period. Write it down so you don't forget it. Your gynecologist will always ask you the date for your last period. Remember, we're not doctors here, guys. We're just sharing some information, things that you need to know that you might not know. Now, let's talk really, really quick. I don't want to dive into the colors much because that's the video I made that they block. I was talking about the different colors, but strong burgundy color is good. Orange, if you see, before I get to orange, yes, and some of you are like, orange, yes. All right, so strong burgundy color is good. All right, now when it comes onto pinkish, what, like very, very, very pale, that might mean that something, you're lacking something. And let me see what other color. Watery, if it's like really, really watery, runny, it could mean that you got to step up your nutrition game. It means that you need to eat healthier, like healthier. The other one, which is the very, very pinky one, could mean I think if I say it, they're gonna but it could mean that deficiency in some chemical or something like that in the body. I try not to, yeah. So definitely anything like that, go check it out. Anything too watery, go to your gynecologist. But from dark brown to somewhere burgundy looking, strong color, that is good. That is very good. Anything orangey, if you see it come out with a little bit of a orangey looking color, that is the worst one. It means that you have an infection. Go research it for yourself. I am not doctor here. I'm just telling you what I research and what I know. Anything orangey, yes, and I am capable of talking about period because I have period all my life. All right, so anything orangey, it means that you have an infection. Definitely go see your gynecologist ASAP. Anything time you're having your period and it smell out of the norm. Now, let's talk about smell a little bit. This is another thing that I get a lot, and I almost forget to talk about it. Smell. What does your menses smell like? Anybody ever smell theirs? Every single one of you do. Yes. My experience, the beginning of it is very, very fresh smelling. It's not like rose petal or anything like that, but you could tell that it's healthy smell. Nearer to the end, it have a stronger smell, and then it's gone. Not a stink smell, not a smell that's gonna make you go, If you get to that stage where you smell and you gotta, something is wrong. It should be a quiet, not, some people not gonna say it's pleasant smell, but you know a good smell from a bad smell. Okay, most of us know what a bad smell is. Menses is menses. It's gonna have. Remember, it is just tissue and mucus that is eliminated from the body because of just waste matter. Urine smell, when you urinate, depending on what you eat, you get that strong odor. What you need to do, drink a lot of water, it's going to cut down on that strong smell. The other one, the number two, also carry a smell. It's waste matter. It carry a smell. No, that's another story. Menses do have a smell, but you can know the healthy smell and you can know the foul smell. A healthy smell is just menses smell. And I'm just going to keep it like that instead of using the B word, because fresh is totally different from the menses smell. We women know that, but definitely know the difference. And for those of you sending letters about smell, my advice, and I'm going to say it on this, always smell it. Let's talk about it. I don't want anybody to come at me like, what you yes, smell it. So that I have nieces, and this is what I tell them every day. Smell it, so when it's off, you know. You guys need to teach the children these things. It's very, very important to know the difference. Okay, all these emails that I feel so passionate about this, guys, that I really wish I could just come pull all those letters out and show for people to see what I am saying. And a lot of you, because it's just period, you're just like, no. We need to talk about it. We need the bed protective sheet like they use in hospital, disposable and reusable ones in the drugstore. Thank you for that, Inga K. All right, so definitely it's smell it. So the tracker. All right, so I think I cover most of the important issues that I get from the email, things that you really need to know. And if you are my subscribers and you're watching now and you didn't watch the last two videos, you know we're doing these videos, we're doing this to attract the others that really don't be even watching our live, but watch some videos that I post, and I've been sending in email, and I ask you all to support this movement. We're doing 5 of this week, just 5. I see this is not a popular topic right now, but it's gonna be a popular video, so bear with me and comment and help me get through this one. All right, so it's also very important to wear proper undies. You cannot wear a string on your period. Even if you're wearing a tampon, do not wear a string on your period. Always wear proper. Now, I'm old school. I like the period panties. If you are with me on this, comment. Even if you're not having period anymore, it's all done with. I'm at the wrapping up stage myself. Comment. I like the period panty. Now, there's a big question. Should it be black or should it be color or white? Should your period panty be black? Teach your children to have period panties. I really believe in that. I really believe in proper undergarment. Now, choose whatever color you want, to be honest, but make sure that it's proper. And also, when it is proper, you always will protect your sheets and stuff like that, and you have less accident. Now, this is a little quiz, and I'm going to ask all of you watching to answer this right now so you can be a part of what we're saying. Color, Andy, or black? Color or black? Which you think is better? Color or black? Start commenting, because now is our time. All right, now I did the first part of the video for all my subscribers that asked this question, but now I'm going to talk to my people. Now, black or color, which one do you prefer? And now we're also going to talk about grown people stuff in terms of Well, it's not grown people stuff. It's period. So it's for all of us. But every menstrual period, I used to get those. When I tell you guys, I used to get those. I'm saying I'm heavy on my menstrual, which suck. Menstrual tend to get heavy. Most time, however, in most cases, if you find that your period is heavier than the norm, consult your gyno, because sometimes other things is going on. Okay, if your period is heavier than the norm, consult your gyno, because most cases that could be fibroid. Yes, but consult a doctor. You can't decide it's fibroid unless you go to your gyno, okay? But I'm just saying, a lot of people, when it's ever really, really heavy. Also, what I notice is that if you are at a certain age, as I said, you start out light and you tend to get heavier as you age. If that happened to any of you guys, come in. Now let's go to the color. Now, Elkie, black or any dark color. Rose, I like to be fully covered during that time. Roxanne, black. Now, Inga K, I wear every color. Maxine, maybe I'm strange, but I love to wear white when I get older. And this is the reason why I'm throwing the color out there. Because some people wear any color whatsoever. They just try to protect themselves. Now, however, make sure that any color be good, proper on this. Now, some people swear by black. I go black. Bear with me. I go black. I have a whole set of stock of black period undies. All right, good ones that catch me up on my waist, fit tight and nice, and all of that. Okay, with cotton crotch. Okay, so I go black. However, I was watching this lady once, and she was talking. She's from India, and she was saying that the Indian parents suggest that it goes white. Watching the video, I'm all black, right? I'm all black. She said that they said it's better for white. The explanation makes so much sense for white. What she's saying, when it is on black, especially the younger children, they don't see the spot to wash it out. When it is on white, you can see that spot, and you know you need to wash it, you need to soak it, you need to bleach it, you need to do whatever to get that spot out. However, I still continue doing black. But now, years ago, I would come out here and say, no, do not do white, do not do white, do black. But see how quick I change? That's why I love YouTube. I love YouTube so much, because it takes you out of your little small world, out of your little small thinking, and just point a big picture in front of you that you can see things differently. That is why I love YouTube so much. You can see things differently. Now, if I'm telling you to get good, proper undies when you're having your menses, I'm going to tell you, choose whatever color you want. Go with whatever color you want, and not be like all up in my head, like if it's not black, it's no good. All right, so with that said, let us so someone is saying that they ate the smell, and especially the end of it, but you know the difference if it's good or bad. All right, so my mom didn't tell me, and I was very scared the first time I got it, and I thought I hurt myself. I talked to my daughter when they were pre-teenagers, and this is what I'm talking about. We need to talk, and especially well, let me stop saying especially my age, because the emails that I receive is nowhere close to my age. The emails that we receive, this channel, we do 18 upwards, but the emails that I receive, that I am receiving, all 12 to 30 something. It varies. The 12 upwards is gonna ask what to do, the tampon questions that I just answer, whether to use napkin or those kind of thing. Those are the emails that we get for like the 12 upwards. This channel is not for children, okay? I gotta say it, guys. Now, as soon as they start to get into the 20s upwards, the question kind of change, and most of those are cramping. Most of those are cramping. Most of those are based along the cramping line. When you get older, going upwards, 30, 40, you're hearing the flow is a question like severe flow, excess flow, and also it's right across the board. However, I chose to start the show today with the basic for, even though my show is not for on the 18, I still start the show with those questions, those earlier questions that I received, since I want to get those out of the way, because I feel like I'm doing some justice. All right, so with that said, let's take some questions. Where does the time go? I honestly could sit here and talk. Like, I so want to talk. Like, I so want to talk, but you know we got to stay within the guideline. So when I'm bucking, guys, bear with me, because this is a topic that we should really talk about freely. And I personally would like to learn something, especially when it comes on to the latter part of period. And I know that you guys have so much information out there that you'd want to share. However, guys, what I'm really going to do when I get to that stage, I'm going to try to bring a professional on, and a panel on, a professional with a few of you guys, so we can really talk about it, because that's the way we're able to speak about it without getting flagged, if we have the professional on with us while we speak. All right, so we have let me go back to the first question that I really want to answer, and this is it. Now, and Ini, I got really bad cramps for 9 years. I was on contraceptive to help with that, but I recently have stopped. Is there natural remedies I can do help with my severe cramps? Now, I am not a doctor. I do make home remedies. Anything cramping, you got to consult your doctor. Please consult your doctor. Anything unusual, please consult your doctor. With that said, to be on the safe side, send an email. I shared something with my subscribers years ago, right? I shared an over-the-counter thing, and I shared this with thousands of people that send email. It's an over-the-counter natural herb, natural medication, not a medication, just a natural thing that anybody can take for cramping, and it helps so many people. I started, someone told me about it years ago, and I started to do it, and that was the best thing ever for me. So because of that, I share it with my subscribers. I do share it, and when I say share it, I share it, and I've shared with thousands of my subscribers. And I don't want to share it right now on this, because we don't want them to flag us. But yeah, there's a lot of things out there that you can take, natural stuff that you can try to ease menstrual cramping. Now, how many of you do the hot water bag? What they call those again? I have one, and I can't even remember the name of it. I have one that I used for years. What we call that again? Come on, guys, remind me. I'm drawing blank today. Those hot water bags that you could put the hot water in, cork it, that you could lay down on it. Help me out, guys. Help me out. They have a name for it. Is it douche bag? I think that's what they call it, douche bag or something like that. Those are good. Those are good because those goes with circulation. That's not no medical advice. That's just me telling you to lay down on something warm. Okay. Now, someone is asking me if I prefer pads or tampon. Pads all the way. Pads all the way. However, I do not like bulky pads. Oh, one more thing I need to say. If you try a pad, oh, I forget, because people ask about this. Different type of pads could irritate you. Different type of pads could irritate you. So if you're using a pad and it irritates you, change it, because there's a wide variety out there these days. If you're using a pad, it irritates you, you can change it. Another advice I have is go along with the modern technology. So if you're using, I'm not going to say a brand, I know a brand that has been around forever, but let's say you're using like the old bulky, big, fat Okay, I might not need to say that, some people still like those, but if the brand is making new ones, try the new ones. Okay, I have a friend that used to think that if you use the tin ones, it's gonna make a mess, but they designed those tin ones to hold even more than the bulky ones. Okay, we're talking about sanitary napkins, so definitely go along with the time. You'll be pleasantly surprised. I have another friend, I went to her house, and that's a couple of years ago, I had my period, and I was like, my goodness, I have my period, you have a pad. Another thing, walk with your pad in your bag. Okay, if you don't follow the chart, walk with it. And even if you follow the chart, still have one, because 90% chance, if you don't use it, someone is going to ask you if you have one. So always put one in the thing. So Hunty is saying it is called the water bag, and that is the one you pour that hot water in, or hot water bag. Yes, you pour that water in it, you lay down on it, and that is going to help with the period. So this girl come and she gave me a pad, and this pad I think was from the 19th centuries when they just stopped making pad. It was this pad, it was just bulky. Those are the ones that my age group is going to know what I'm talking about. We don't see this happening anymore. This used to be, you go to school, you know what I'm talking about. You could tell when the girls are having the period because this big fat thing is there on the butt, like you guys know what I'm talking about. So switch out those thin ones is gonna hold maybe even more than those fat ones. So always try to change with the flow. Go with whatever they're now inventing, because things they're inventing is working better. So with that said, however, depending if you are sensitive, yes or no, the edging of the pad, I wish I did bring a pad out here, but the edging of the pad sometimes is plastic. And some people, like for me, certain pads, when that plastic area touches my skin, is irritating. Okay, so find a pad that is going to be fold properly, that part don't touch you. And if you use a pad, it irritates you, you get itching or anything like that, change it for a new one. Change it for a new one, because there's a wide variety out there. Okay, all right. So the hot water bag, thank you guys so much for that. Now I'm gonna put this one up and just let it sit right there a little. And Brooklyn, New York is saying something. I cannot highlight this one, Brooklyn, and I know you know why I'm not gonna highlight that one. And so we have joy. I clearly remember some of the part. Okay, this is what I was talking about. I clearly remember some of the part usually itches me, so I use my older underwear, more washing, but didn't mind. And this is what I'm talking about. Yes, you do. And guess what? Unscented is always best. I know some people like those, with a little smell to it, little fragrant to it, but unscented is always good. If you find that a fragrant one give you that itch, change to unscented. But yes, some pads do itch, and some, as I said, like in my case, is the plastic area that always irritate my skin. So go along with the flow. And we have Maybelline that get heavier as she get older, and this is what I'm talking about, and this is what people need to know. So when you send me an email and like, oh my goodness, all of a sudden it's just heavy, yes, I'm going to tell you, go and consult your gynecologist, but I'm also going to tell you that as you get older, this is what happened. If you like the topic today, comment. We're only doing 5 of these for this week, guys. We have 2 more to go. Today is the 3rd day, and then we're gonna go back to our skincare, but I need to make these 5 videos. All right, so if you have a question or if you have any advice to, especially for people 2 cents to add to this, go ahead and comment, and we're gonna highlight it. But I'm scrolling because I want to go back to a question I got. I don't remember if okay, so I did address it. So this is what I was looking for, which I addressed. So send an email to Chichi Beauty, and that's what I did all these years. Whenever I come on under those videos that I post on period, you have these kind of question, and I always say send me an email. I never ever give that out on. So this is it now. And what should you allow your daughter? Okay, this is a very, very good one. What would you allow your daughter to use? Tampons? This is a very, very good question. I want some of you all to can you start answering this question for me? Just tell me your take on this. I have my take on this. Go ahead and start to comment for me, guys. Please let me hear, because I know everyone is different. Everything that I say today is just my own opinion. All thoughts are mine. And I also know you also have your own thoughts and beliefs. So let me hear what you all have to say on this one. What should you tell your daughter to do? Tampon or pads? Go ahead and comment. Let me see. I just want to hear where everyone is at. Go ahead and comment. Let me see the comment going up. Comment, guys. Let me hear from you. I want you all to answer this question. What would you do? What advice would you give? Go ahead and comment. People don't want to comment today. Why you guys don't want to comment? That's what I'm talking about. Talk about it. It's okay to talk about it. And if this video is flagged, we're going to leave it up because I want to talk about it. And I'm making this video because of the many emails. So if it gets flagged, I'm still going to leave it up. Okay? All right. So, but I respect YouTube and I do understand where they're coming from with certain things. You should be able to have a show, and notice what I try to do. I try to make it clean. And that is it. We should be able to talk about it clean. Okay? We should be able to talk about it clean. Thank you for that, Roxanne. All right, so pads. Now, personally for me, I would suggest that they start with pads. Yes, they should start with pads, because there's a lot of other things that at certain age, yeah, they should start with pad and they should let it flow. I am not an advocate for tampons. However, I do try tampons, and those days when I was trying tampon, it is okay. Yes, it's okay. And as I said earlier in the show, it is one of the most used, product for period in America here. But I think you should allow them to decide if they want to use the tampon. Allow them to decide if they want to use a tampon as soon as they get older. Start them with the pad. Do the whole pad shabam. Go explain the different sizes, everything. Go through the pad. When they come into themselves, they will decide whether or not they want to use the tampon. If you agree with me, comment, guys. Comment. And that's another thing too, guys, that you believe it or not, a lot of parents, when I say parents, I mean, because parents come in different ages. You have parents that are in their 20s, parents that are in their 30s, so on and so forth. And there's a lot of younger parents that really do not, they themselves are using tampon and really do not know what to tell their children. That's why I get so much emails on that. But I'm saying definitely start them with the pads. And if they want to switch later on to the tampon, then that's their choice. However, you still let them know that that is out there. The reason also is because they're not reliable in terms of that every 2 hours, especially when they're new to it. Not only that, they're not at that stage. Most of them are not at that stage where they are anything going up. So they should definitely start with the pads. All right. So with that said, guys, my hour is basically up. I definitely gonna make another show for us that want to talk about every period. For us, that's want to talk about the severe cramping. For us, that's gonna want to talk about what comes with it. Why we are experiencing this. And I also want to make a show where we're going to talk about what is going on with me right now today. All right. So support this channel, guys. Support this topic. Share it on your social media page. Give us a thumbs up. Just support your girl. I know some of you are here for skincare, and I know that this is the not, norm, but the channel is still all about health, wellness, and all about your entire being, not only your face care, but your total body care. Share the video, leave your comment, and send that feedback, guys. Let me know how well I did today, sticking to the guideline, making sure that whatever I say is well within YouTube guideline, but we really need to talk about it. So if you want me to create a series around let's talk about this, also send me an email. However, if I do make a series, then we will need to have guests coming on, and we will need to bring on like people like the professionals that are privy to talk about these topics. So if you want to me to create a series around this, and you're also out there, you're a professional, you're a gynecologist, you're a doctor and all of that, and you want to be on the show, send an email to Khichi Beauty. We need help over here, okay? We need help over here. And we are not afraid to take the help. So comment, let me know what you didn't like about the show today. Yes. If you didn't like something, say it and let me know what you like and let me know what we could do different. Thank you all for watching, and thank you all my subscribers, especially for those of you who are just here just to support me. Like, you're here because you don't even want to hear about period. You finish your period 10 years ago, 5 years ago. You're done with that, where you come on just to support your girl. I love you guys, and go and watch a video we post this morning. Not only that, the video I posted yesterday with the butterfly pea flowers, definitely go and watch it. I also noticed something with the system. When I post videos on this is, I have to say this, guys, and this is sad, okay? This is very, very sad. Do you know that when I post a video with using the butterfly pea flowers, the videos don't circulate? It's really, really sad. And this is what I'm talking about. The video don't circulate. You know why the video don't circulate? That butterfly, I think the system misunderstand what I'm trying to say. And that is because YouTube do get a bad rap about, things that we're supposed to not say and all of that kind of thing. You might see videos out there, but they might have a red flag or a yellow flag, but you don't know that they have a yellow flag, and people just leave them there. But it's really, really sad because we have to be so careful what we say. And I get it. I get it. Don't think I don't get it. I get it that you don't want to come and say certain things raw chaw, but we should be able to say things in a decent manner. Certain words that we use, and that's why even when you watch my video and I want to talk about the D word, I'm scared to say it because it's medical, associated with medical concern. Like maybe the butterfly, I think they're associated with something else, But it's really, really a good recipe, and it's a good moisturizer. It's a really, really good moisturizer. So watch the video and help to circulate it by sharing it on the social media page. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow with another topic. Let's talk about it. We have 2 more in the series. We're wrapping up on Friday. Come back tomorrow. Tomorrow we're coming back at 1. I just had an emergency today, and that's why I had to switch it to 2. But look out for the thumbnail. We're going to be on at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be good to yourself. Take care of yourself. Wash yourself properly whenever you're on your period. Get to know your body. Write it down to know when it's coming. Make sure to change as often as you can, and make sure to also register the flow. You can write that down, like day 2, no cramping, day 3, a little heavy. You can do stuff like that, because if you do stuff like that when you go to your gynecologist, you're actually helping out your gynecologist also. Be good, and I love you all, and I'll see you in my next video.